Hello, good morning students. This is Dr. Meena Maan, Assistant Professor English from Government VYT PG Autonomous College, Durg. Welcome to my video lecture on Hilaire Belloc's A Conversation with a Reader. This is in the syllabus of BA Second Year Literature, Paper 2nd, Prose. In this video lecture, I will be first dealing with the author and then the background story of the essay, and finally I will be summarizing the essay. So to start, Hilaire Belloc was born on July 27, 1870 in La Celle Saint Cloud near Paris, a French-born poet, historian and essayist who was among the most versatile English writers of the first quarter of the 20th century. His father, Louis Swanton Belloc, was a famous French barrister, and his mother, a remarkably intellectual woman, was Irish. After attending oratory school in Edgbaston, he went to Balliol College, Oxford, doing honours in history. Belloc's many works from late 1890s to early 1950s have fallen into considerable neglect, like his contemporary and friend G.K. Chesterton. Belloc himself observes and makes his readers observe novelty in the real and familiar things of everyday life, and he also presents the hackneyed problems so concretely as to change them with an altogether new significance. He was a champion of older and more settled values in a time now mainly remembered for its modernism and constant change. Belloc's career spanned soon after he left Oxford. He wrote on numerous forms and genres, from poetry to journalism to novels to popular histories. His range of mood, theme and subject is very wide. He can be playful and garrulous as in his essay on cheese, but he can be even lyrically emotional as in The Good Woman, and between these can play on all possible shades and gradations. His prose style is transparent and clear, which strikes attention most immediately. His essays, many of them, were produced for newspapers and magazines and have an artless pattern and rhythmical effect. He was a born writer, seems to have found himself from a very start of his career with a highly individual style already formed and mature to set a standard for his prose writing, having authored 153 books of essays, fiction, history, poetry, and light verse. He also wrote a number of satiric novels which were illustrated by his close friend G.K. Chesterton. He had a deep interest in politics and served as a party member of Parliament for Salford South. He had a strong views against capitalism and a member of Fabian Society. He came into contact with authors like George Bernard Shaw and H.G. Wells, who helped him in getting jobs in the literary circle. As a versatile writer, he wrote novels like A Change in the Cabinet. He also wrote works of history and economics which were critically acclaimed. He is most remembered for his light verse, particularly for children's book titled Cautionary Tales for Children. So, to conclude his short life sketch, Belloc is one of the masters of modern English prose and a good poet. Now, this is the background of the story. The essay, A Conversation with a Reader, was originally authorized in short talks with the dead. The essay revolves around the narrator's experience on a train with a reader who was reading one of his books. In 1928, the essay is about the author's first personal experience. In this essay, he makes fun of himself for not being famous, or also pokes fun at famous writers. Hilaire, Belloc writes about his real life experience when he had a conversation with a fellow traveler when he was traveling from Birmingham to London on the Great Western Railway. Now, I am going to summarize the essay. The people whose books sell largely must have had an experience of talking familiarly with the public who was reading one of my works. It was many years ago. The author was traveling down from Birmingham to London on the Great Western Railway. He was in third-class smoking carriage with a person who looked like a commercial traveler. It was in the early autumn and sunny weather. It was one of his too numerous books of essays. They will read these books until their covers are worn out, and then they will buy another copy. They will tell their friends more copies will be sold. The world has changed its complexion and my sun has risen at last. As these pleasing thoughts succeeded each other, the man opposite put down the volume with a sigh. He said he was just looking over the bookstall and thinks he must have taken it up by mistake for another book. But he made a languid gesture, picked up the book again, looked at the back, pronounced the name wrongly, and then threw the book down again. This time there was a note of bitterness in his complaint. It was having spent a shilling on it that rankled. He picked up the book again and looked at the title. And these words of his were painful ones. They were indeed newspaper articles. He mentioned several to repeat whose names would I suppose. He suddenly became enthusiastic. This time it was all about a dear little child. The train was slowing up for Oxford. He got up, snapped his bag, and was evidently going to get out. No one else got in at Oxford. The train did not stop before Paddington. The man was quite right. What with affection in one place and false rhetoric in another, and slipshod construction in a third, and a ghastly lack of interest in all. Soon the beauty of South England healed this wound. Thank you.